Enrichment Stylist. I have owned my salon now for 24 years. I am a business coach. I coach independently and with the dog gurus. I'm a pet tech instructor. I'm an apprentice. This fall, I'll be starting to do grooming a program with Moraine Valley Community College. So I've been in this industry a long time. And believe it or not, at one point, I was probably the worst business owner I can think of. I really didn't understand so many things like the customer journey. I didn't understand how the way the world worked. I've been in this business for so long. It was back when yellow pages were still and word of mouth were the way you gained customers. And when it switched over to digital and internet and all that kind of stuff, I was totally left in the dust, which I did see affected my business. So that actually prompted me to be a better business owner and to learn about all this stuff. So I'm so happy today to share this with you, and I'm hoping that you guys will be able to learn stuff. If you have any questions at all, you can go ahead and email me at theenrichmentstylist@gmail.com. I'm happy to send anybody any of the presentation notes today. I'm happy to send the slides to you guys if anybody wants them. Just feel free and email me. So with that said, can everybody hear me okay, Alex?
Yep, I got you loud and clear.
Okay,
If anyone has problems hearing Samantha, chime in the chat box, but I've got you loud and clear, so you should be good to go.
I just want to make sure that I'm speaking loud enough and that everyone can hear what I'm saying.
We've got you loud and clear.
So the journey starts here. That's going to be everyone kind of has their own idea of where it starts. So we're going to talk about actually when it starts. Okay, so to enhance our customer's journey, it's crucial to gain a deep understanding of what truly enriches their experience from all stages. We have the customers, we have branding, we have customer service, and then we even have the post-visit. So when does the customer journey start? The customer journey starts the moment they see your website, advertisement, social media page, Google listing, reviews, or any other way that they find you. With so many ways of communication and online scheduling systems, coupled with availability of customer reviews, the expectations surrounding customer service and the overall customer journey are now established even before your client physically visits your location, meets you in person, or interacts with your staff directly. So what do I mean by this? They actually start getting their first impression of you just by looking at your website and going through maybe who your employees are. They look at your pictures, they look at your services, or maybe they're looking at some of your reviews online and they're going on Google reviews, and they're just kind of getting a brief synopsis of what your business is like. It could even be before they even talk to you on the phone. It might be if you're doing some chat. I know some people now have the web chat on their websites, or maybe they have the messenger on Facebook. So anytime they are communicating with you, it actually is starting to perceive the way that they are viewing your business and actually setting up those expectations of what they're thinking about what their experience with your business is going to be like. So let's talk a little bit of who is your ideal client. And this is so important because if you're not sure who your ideal client is, this is where a lot of miscommunication can come up. This is when maybe the bad reviews can come in because their expectations of what they should be getting and what you're actually putting out can be a disconnect. It can also be maybe who you're attracting into your business. So we're going to talk a little bit about the different types of clients that there are and how we need to target the client, our ideal client. So your customer service and process may be very depending on the characteristics of your client's characters and preferences. So there's a couple different that I'm going to categorize them in, which is like number one is tech savvy. So they're going to prefer online scheduling and communication. You have your traditional who maybe prefer more face-to-face interactions or over the phone. You have your busy professional that just wants processes to be fast and efficient. You have value orientated, which is like price conscious or budget conscious. High expectations, so expects excellent customer service. And you even have some laid back clients, so they just kind of go with the flow with whatever is going on, and they're usually pretty good. So we're going to actually dive into each type of these clients to kind of give you a better understanding. So different ways that we can enhance the experience for a busy professional, a tech savvy, and a high expectations client is online booking. I actually heard about a month and a half ago that right now that if people expect online booking and you don't have it, they're just going to skip to the next uh, servicer. So just keep in mind, if you're totally against online booking, you may want to start thinking about how can this enhance my business and what kind of clients is it going to bring in? And what pluses it? I know it can kind of be a pain, but there's so many ways now that they are making it where the target, where it's like you make an appointment, it has to be approved. So they just can't schedule like a Great Pyrenees an hour before you're ready to close. You have to approve it. So if that's kind of what's scaring you, there are things put in place and there are measures to make sure that the booking is going to be correct. You want invoicing, payment links, and credit cards on file because they just want to do everything quick, fast, easy, and they'd rather deal with like a portal than deal with an actual human being. Make sure you're giving out email reminders, whether that's about their appointment, maybe they need their updated vaccinations, maybe they haven't been in for a while. So for whatever reason, you could do like some sort of email reminders. Text messages, again, you have your portals and your apps, a web chat, Facebook messaging, point-based loyalty programs, retail auto ship or delivery if you have retail, a concierge service, or express checkout. These type of clients are looking for efficient processes, quick responses, and preferred digital communication. I just want to say one thing though. If you're going to offer things like web chat, Facebook messaging, or anything like that, even a text message, you want to make sure that you're going to have a quick response. You don't want to have them send a message or request an appointment or something like that, and then you just totally forget about it for like 24 to 48 hours, or maybe your reservation people don't get to it. You really want to make sure that this is something that is being often checked and rapidly respond. Even if you put on there, if maybe you're a mobile groomer that you're by yourself, even if you do an auto message back, that's going to at least have them know that you got their message. Because a lot of times, even if people see, oh, we'll get back to you, and by the end of the day, it calms them. Okay, they got my message, and we'll get back to you at the end of the day. Versus not getting anything at all, it's almost like feeling like getting ghosted, and it's not a good feeling. So you just want to make sure that we are replying right away as soon as possible. Ways to enhance an experience for a traditional or value-oriented client. They like face-to-face interactions. They like phone calls. You can offer them a snack or beverage when they come in, like a water, maybe have a little chip bags or something on front, cookies, stuff like that. They kind of like that. They feel like they're getting a little bit more value out of what they're paying for. You want to do some follow-up phone calls and relationship building with them. You want to have a nice seating area and waiting room. You want to have prompt service, do some giveaways, personalized customer service. So know their names, know their dogs. Maybe start a little small talk, write it down, take notes. So when the next time they come in, you can ask them about, oh, how was your vacation when you went? Or how's your mom doing? I remember last time you told me that she wasn't feeling well. Or, oh, is your son graduating college next month? Just adding those little notes is just going to give them more of that personalized feeling, almost like your family and not someone they're just dropping their dog off to. Have groomer interactions. So make sure the groomers are actually going out and speaking to them and talking to them, and that they, really can feel like they know who their groomer is. You want to have defendable services, a warm welcome, And these type of clients appreciate discounts, loyalty programs, and a traditional customer service approach. Ways to enhance the experience for the laid back client. You want simple processes. They're normally people that don't really need a lot. So they need simplified processes. You don't want to overload them. You want to be patient and understanding, create a relaxing environment, offer flexible ways to communicate. So this might be good where maybe they want to call on the phone one time, and maybe they want to do online, depending on what's going on in their life. Serve, don't sell. So don't act like you're selling to them like a traditional client. Serve them, serve your client. These clients are looking for a nice experience and nothing more. So now we're going to talk a little bit of branding and brand recognition. And I'm going to guarantee you, I know that there seems like there's such a disconnect, but when I connect it all, you're going to understand why all this stuff makes a lot of sense into attracting your ideal client and providing them the best customer journey, because they mix up of different parts. Your customer journey just is not the haircut. It's just not when they walk through the door. It's not after they leave. It's the general makeup of your customer journey are all these compiled together. So I promise you that I know it seems like it's going to be a little disconnected, but it will all come together at the end. So your branding and brand recognition, if you have not looked at your brand or made your brand cohesive, you really want to take a look at that. So your branding. So what message are you sending? That is kind of what your branding is. Is your branding saying you're relaxed? It's a fun, economical? Are you a high end? Is it convenient? Is it quick service, professional, intimate? So I put up these 4 different pictures, and you can kind of see based off of these pictures, you're kind of getting that in the salon or the facility, we'll say, is kind of a tranquil kind of a place. It's, there's not a whole bunch of dogs. Like a dog daycare would be a place that you want to be like fun. If there's dogs running around, there's a bunch of equipment, the dogs are having a good time. A salon or spa atmosphere can be a lot of different things. It could be fun, like we do enrichment in my salon. So we don't really have like that tranquil, but we have like a fun place to be. So when you look at my website, it shows dogs there's a dog with a ball in their mouth, and there's videos of dogs playing, and there's dogs having a good time. But they also relax too, because we're enriching their experience as well. But if you're looking to have more like that relaxing kind of, place, kind of like a spa, then you want to put out things that say, I want to be a spa. If you are saying that you're a spa, you want to make sure that you're actually delivering on that. So just keep that in mind. Whatever you're putting out there, make sure the follow through is there. So what is the connection between your brand and your customer journey? Your brand's identity or your company is your company's personality. It's going to set the tone for the entire customer journey. It's going to help the customer understand a company's values. It creates a customer's expectations and perceptions. You want to make sure you have a clear and compelling brand identity, and should be represented on the business logo, mission statement, website, in the wording and the values. Anywhere that you're putting anything out there, whether it's social media, an email, a text message, any kind of advertisement, your business cards, anything you have out there, you want to make sure everything is cohesive, because that's going to tell everybody what your company's personality is. So your brand promise, this is going to set the foundation for the customer's journey. It tells the client what the value that they can expect to receive. Your promise to the client can and will influence your decisions while using your customer services. Remember, this is a commitment your company is making, so don't take it lightly. So if you think about like pizza deliveries, and they say you're going to have your pizza in 30 minutes or less, and then you order them and it's like an hour, and it happens continuously. It's almost like they broke that promise, guaranteeing you're going to have your pizza for 30 minutes or less. So if you're saying like you're going to have one-on-one grooming with the dog and they come in and you have like a bunch of dogs, that's like a broken promise. Or if you're going to say, oh, your dog's going to be done in 2 to 3 hours, and then the dog's there for 8 hours. I'm not saying that things don't happen. We all know that they do, and it might come up here and there. But if it's a continuous thing, you really want to look at your brand promise. And maybe you just don't have it where you have certain expectations unless you know that you can actually deliver them. Make sure that you are setting the standards that you can accomplish. And if you find that you can't accomplish something that you said you are, it's okay to change it. Just make sure that you're being transparent and make sure you're letting everybody know what your new brand promises to them. So your brand experience, let me get this up. Oops, sorry. Your brand experience is the overall perception a customer has about your business. So you want, like I said, a consistent message, a positive experience on all touch points, build trust, loyalty, and a customer satisfaction. Consistent feedback to improve a customer experience is essential. So maybe you take a survey, that's where you can ask them for reviews, just kind of getting that feedback on what your customers are experiencing and what they're thinking about what's going on with their experience with your facility and your brand is going to help you dial in on what you need to do better and even what you're doing right. And maybe some things that maybe you're like, oh, you know what, that's working real well. Let's do even more of it. So that's really going to help. And just some touch points example is going to be your advertising, your marketing, products, and customer service. Your brand emotional connection. An emotional connection with the customer can have a powerful effect. Brands that evoke a positive emotion such as trust, joy, and excitement can leave an impression that leads to customer loyalty. It is extremely important in the pet care industry to make an emotional connection with your clients. The pet care industry is a relationship-based industry that is dependent on making those emotional connections. So this is where you're going to get your word of mouth. This is where you're going to get your good reviews. This is where you're going to get people taking pictures of the dog on Facebook or putting them on Instagram or TikTok, and they're almost going to be like an unpaid advertiser for you. So it's really a good way to make that emotional connection. And your emotional connections are actually going to be the people that turn into like your loyalty customers. And they're going to be the ones that are going to stick with you through thick and thin. They're going to make sure that your business grows. They're just really going to keep you motivated and keep you going. So think about the emotional connection that you're making with these clients, both four-legged and two-legged. It's very important. So your differentiation, it distinguishes your brand from competitors that offer similar products or services. It emphasizes your niche. It tells your company's story, and it attracts clients by setting your business or services apart. So back years ago, when I was looking at this is when I was doing some homework and trying to look at different websites because I was revamping my website. And I was really trying to get some ideas of what the other, not even just in my area, like just all around, what are people sharing? Because like I said, I was starting a new journey, becoming a business owner that was a business owner that knew how to groom and not a groomer that owned a business. So one of the things that I noticed is everyone was kind of offering the same thing. So it was dog grooming, cat grooming. Everyone had a blueberry facial. Everybody, promised 2 to 3 hours or 3 to 4 hours. Full service. Some people did cats, but for the most part, everybody was kind of doing the same thing. There really wasn't anything that was like the wow factor. And it just basically looked like cut and paste. And whoever got the best products, the best product meeting their website, was really the ones that were most eye-catching. It was the way their wording was, or maybe the pictures, the colors, things like that. But I really wasn't seeing anything that like stood out. It was like, wow, this is different. This is really going to set them apart. And so actually what happened is one reason why I'm named the enrichment stylist is because I came up with enrichment grooming. And enrichment grooming is where you pair a positive activity with the grooming experience. And that can range from lots of different things. And now enrichment is not new in the pet industry itself. So in the boarding, daycare, training industry, it's been in those factions of the pet industry for like 10 years now. And they have really mastered it. They have things dedicated. There are boarding and daycares that are dedicated enrichment. So I actually brought enrichment into my groom salon, and that was my niche, and that was where I was different. And I can say for my salon, we were the first nationwide grooming salon that was enrichment based, that offered enrichment grooming. And with that, that made it a whole different type of atmosphere. And it really separated myself, not from anybody else around here. And you can do that too. It doesn't have to be enrichment. It could be, maybe if you're fair free, maybe if you work with those, I'm drawing a blank here, the oils. Maybe it's something that you offer. Maybe you have the micro bubbles. Maybe you do some little training. I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can do to differentiate yourself. But this is where, when you're trying to grab those ideal clients, they're going to look and say, what makes you different? What are you offering differently than the person down the street? Or if you have 5 more grooming facilities open, what's going to keep clients from going and leaving and maybe trying somebody else because they're giving a discount, or maybe they're, just new and they want to try something else. So you definitely want to make sure that you're having that factor that's setting you apart. And so whatever that is, you want to shout that from the rooftops. You want to put that on all your touch points, your website. You want to put that on your cards. You want to put that on your advertising, anywhere and everywhere that you are putting your business out there. Even make a video and talk about why it's so different. That's really going to have people coming in the doors that are actually your ideal clients too, because they're coming in for that particular service. So your brand advocacy, you got regularly satisfied clients that can become brand ambassadors. If anybody here has been at a trade show or grooming show lately, everyone can see that the different vendors have different brand ambassadors. You see people posting online, Instagram, Facebook, they're all over the place. Their smocks have their patches on there. They're promoting the products that they feel is deepest to the heart. Maybe it's a brand that they always use, and they're like, wow, I love this brand. It works for me. And they're just a promoter for them. They're just naturally promoting the brand because it's just that good for them. And so they kind of became, again, they're becoming like a free advertisement for that brand. So having regular or satisfied clients can automatically become something. Now I know, like, you can pay for it and give them rewards, or it could just be a natural fit that just happens for your business. As an individual that can advocate for your business, they may widen a range of clienteles. So full disclosure, we're on Instagram and we are on Facebook, but we're not on TikTok. So if I have a client that is on TikTok and maybe they're posting some videos or they're sharing something on TikTok, maybe they're widening that horizon for me, because then there's a whole different group of people out there seeing it. So don't limit yourself to what it could be, because they might bring in a whole nother group of people that you haven't even thought of. It's going to build even more trust in your brand, because it's telling other people, it's taking other people's opinions, advice, almost like reviews. It's really going to build that trust. And then reviews, influencers, and employees are common advocates for your brands. Your employees should be able to come in and feel like they're working at the best place, and they should feel like that they're going out and they're happy to promote the place that they're working for. So if you have employees that are not out there doing that, check to find out why, because they can be bringing in other people that may be other great employees. They may be bringing in other customers. They may be able to be sharing things on their social media, because not everybody's the same. Not everybody hangs out in the same place on social media. I know I don't. I mean, the one reason why we're on Instagram is because I have a social media expert that does it for me. I never did Instagram because I don't want to say I didn't understand it. I just didn't get it. But I hired somebody I knew to do it for me, and that's why we're on Instagram. So that is why it's always good to get people out there, because you never know where their niche is going to be and where they might put a video or where they might put a comment or anything like that. So just make sure that you are talking to your employees and making sure that they're being advocates for you as well. So if you look at this video, I always laugh at this video because you see this girl, she's saying yes, but you can tell she doesn't really have the best of attitude. She looks like she's almost like, really, I got all these papers, I got all this work, I'm listening to you, but I'm not really listening to you. I've heard this all before, yada, yada, yada. Like you can just tell like this expression on her face is just kind of like the rolling of the eyes, whatever. Well, even though you don't think they know this over the phone, or if a client walked in and saw this, your customer service is going to be huge. It's customer service during the visit to our facility is even more prominent in the digital age. The perception of the client's experience will determine if they return, refer, or refrain for using your services. So if you're giving great customer service, again, that's going to build trust. Customer service alone is actually going to get you a lot of great reviews. Because we kind of live in this age where people expect bad service, and they have had so many experiences not having positive places. When they're getting positive customer service, they are so happy to share it that they just go everywhere and they talk to their friends. They might give you a plug on your Google ads. They might go on Nextdoor. There's so many ways that they're going to go out and tell everybody. So think about your customer service and think about how that's representing your brand. So some impacts of good customer service on your business is, we have heard that there are two sides to every story. There are also two sides of the checkout counter. So what do I mean like that? So I know we have an open concept in our salon. So the clients can come in and they can see everything. But our drying room, a bathing and drying room, is straight back, which has a door. So if they only saw the reaction of let's say the bather, and maybe the dog is trying to get off the table, but they only see the person trying to hold the dog back and they don't see what the dog is doing, they might get a different impression than if that door is fully open and they see the exact thing that's going on. Perception is everything when it comes to your business. So just make sure that you're given the perception that you want. You're trying to make sure that there's no blurred lines on what perception they're going to see. Enhancing the customers and their pets experience will lead to higher customer satisfaction, more referrals, and better reviews. This ultimately adds up to the bottom line by keeping repeat clients, and it's more cost efficient to keep a returning client rather than continuously finding new ones. So just remember, if you're looking for ways to cut down on your advertising cost or your customer costs trying to bring them in, or if you want to increase your bottom line, keeping repeat clients is a great natural way to do that. Appointment etiquette. Let's talk a little bit about this because I don't think people really think about this all the time. I think they kind of skip this. Let me go back. Answer the phone a number of rings. 3 are recommended. So if the phone is ringing, either have it go to a voicemail saying that you're going to return their call, or answer it, put them on hold, and make sure if you put them on hold that you have it where it's just so much. And if you're going to be longer, you get back to them. You want to reply to emails within 24 hours. You want to reply to text messages or have an auto reply set up so they know that they're not being ghosted. You want to have clear scripts written for staff that answer common questions. So like we have for my salon, we have different examples of common questions that they ask, and they have a paragraph of what they can all be saying to the client. This way, everyone has the same message. Everyone has the same answer. Everyone knows the tone that you're supposed to speak of. They'll understand that it's not just some random thing you say and you're not guessing. It makes you sound more educated. It makes your receptionist really seem more competent. So it's really a great idea to have clear scripts written and have them review those prior to having these phone calls. Have them look at it, have it available just in case, but have them kind of go over it periodically, almost like homework, and have them just go through it like once a month if you have to, just for a refresher. Just so then this way they seem like your message is being thorough throughout the whole salon. You want to explain any requirements that your business requires. So if you need a deposit, let them know about their deposit. If you need a 48 hours for canceling, let them know that. If you need the rabies tag, let them know that. Like whatever they need, if they need to have their appointment approved before coming in, make sure that they know all this. So you just want to make sure that you're setting those expectations of what you need for your business. And if you plan on using online booking, be clear and precise on the process and what is needed to finalize the appointment. So again, like I said, if they need to download their vet records or any notes that they want, if they need to put on there what they're looking for to have done that day, whatever it is, make sure that you have that clear and precise. You want to use proper language, and the person answering the phone should introduce themselves to the client. That last one, I'm going to be honest, I'm sure that got erased at some point. I'm sorry. I'm just goes back and review my notes on that one. So ways to enhance the customer's experience in a brick and mortar business. You want to have welcoming greetings. You want to offer beverages or snacks. I know I said that before, but even having like those little bottles of water if your client is waiting, or maybe like I said, you just have chips, cookies, something small, even some candy at the front. It's always a good thing to have that there because it's almost like they're getting something else. Do your giveaways. You want to streamline your processes. You want to have prompt customer service, a variety of options of retail. So give them something to look at, to kind of, look at and maybe peruse around and give them some different options. Maybe it will kind of pass the time and maybe they'll end up buying something from you. You want to encourage the staff and the customer communication. So don't let that client come in and just have like dead silence. You want to make sure that they're being greeted, hi, maybe some small talk. How can we help you? How are you doing today? How's your weekend? You got any plans? Just have some little chat with them and make sure you have a clean environment. And the ways to enhance the customer's experience in a home or a mobile visit is you want to show up on time, leave the house or outside area clean, have payment processing quick and easy. You want to text or call them estimate arrival times, and you want to communicate promptly if you're running behind. So don't wait until you're supposed to be there. Communicate with them before that. Text or call 15 minutes prior to finishing the appointment, and hire a reservation specialist or concierge service. And that may help you with your communications with your clients. So the journey doesn't end when the appointment's over. And I want you guys to all remember this, because so many times we think that once they're at the table and out the door, that is really the end of the appointment and the experience. The customer experience doesn't end at the end of the groom. It may end days, weeks, or months after the appointment. This also depends on the customer service they receive before, during, and after the groom. Now remember, they're going to go home and they might pick up their dog and they say, oh, I love the haircut, or I love the way my dog looks. But then they take them home and then maybe they see something that maybe they don't like, or maybe they think their dog is acting funny. Maybe their dog is looking like they're happy and they're excited. And then maybe when they bring them back, they notice that they're excited to go back. So just remember that the journey doesn't end when they pick the pet up. It continues on afterwards. After their experience there, they're actually going to see it more actually when they get home. And this is usually when the reviews come in, and this is where the customer satisfaction really heightens, because they're seeing the aftermath of what the experience was for their pet. So after the service, as important as the first impression is, the final impression is most important. The customer will remember and retain that positive emotion for a period of time after the final encounter. The emotion will help them decide if they will reuse your services in the future. So just remember that as much as you're greeting them in, greet them out, have them have a nice day. If you need to do a follow-up call, if you need to do a follow-up email, if you just even want to check in with them a week after, doing that work afterwards is going to help give them that positive connection to you, to your brand, to your facility, and that's going to help them make the decision like if they're going to refer you or they're going to reuse you in the future. So a couple things you can do is you can make checkout and next appointment scheduling quick and easy, because you never know if people have got to go pick up their kids from school, if they have another appointment, maybe they've had a long day from work, they just want to get home, maybe they have the baseball game or plans to get to. So make checkout appointments and scheduling nice and easy for them and stress-free. Have the collars, leashes, and belongings organized and ready for pickup. You want to always thank them for their service. Offer concierge pickup service if need be. Ask if there is anything else they need help with. Thank their pet as well as the client, because that's going to show that you have the connection with the pet as well. Offer them if they need help into the car. So if you see that someone is overwhelmed with their dog, maybe it's a little old lady, see if they need help to the car. The only thing I'm going to say is you always want to check with your insurance to make sure that you're covered for stuff that's outside of your facility. And make sure you have proper SOPs for that. Make sure we're following the correct protocols, because we all know that accidents can happen. So we just want to make sure that we're protected. So anything that you're going to do like outside of it, even like pickup services, you just want to make sure you're thoroughly covered. You want to make sure you finish their experience before moving on to the next client. So if they look like they're still got questions or they want to purchase something, don't make them feel rushed just because maybe you have one or two people behind, because that's not going to have a positive experience for them. You want them to feel like you're giving them as much attention as needed for that experience. And if you seem like you have a backup at certain times and you're a business owner, what you want to do is maybe you have to get a reservation specialist and a receptionist, and they have two different roles. So maybe if you have the phones ringing, you have somebody that's dedicated to the phones, and then you have somebody that's dedicated to the in-person clients. This way, you don't have your in-person clients being disrupted, their experience disrupted by someone having to pick up the phones, answer the phones, and vice versa. If someone walks in, you don't want someone to feel rushed off the phone because someone's standing in front of them looking to pick up their dog. So you may want to, especially during busy times or peak times during your business or peak days, there might be times that you actually may benefit from this. And I know it seems like, oh, it's going to be more money. In some ways, it can actually save you money and actually bring in more money. Because if you have a dedicated person that can actually spend time speaking to somebody, they may be able to do some upsells. They may be able to finish that sale and get in that deal and have those people come in because they took that extra time needed. So because they're getting service, they're not being sold to. So you just want to think about that it may actually be unnecessary for your business in order to bring in these type of people. You want to make sure give updates or report cards regarding their pet's visits. And I'm not saying to diagnose anything, but just let them know, oh, your pet really enjoyed having the massage in the bathtub, or we had a lot of fun playing ball. Oh, we noticed some redness in the ear. We noticed that your pet was a little sensitive. Anything that you feel like you need to tell them within your lane, always give them updates. Oh, he did really good today. Or maybe he had a little trouble on his nail. I mean, this can be a positive thing or a negative thing. And what I always say, rule of thumb, is if you're going to tell him something negative, like maybe he was a little difficult for the bath, let's say, always follow it up with something positive. Like, but he was really good for the grooming, and he did really well. And he's just so sweet. He's so cute. Just always do a follow up with something positive. You don't want to send your client away thinking that they had a negative experience or their pet had a negative experience. And then be ready to assist for any additional purchases. So like I said, if you have retail or any other services, you can, and they look like they're looking around, they look like they want to buy something, or maybe if they have a question, don't just say, oh, here's your dog and walk away. Maybe they're ready to purchase something. Maybe they do want to make another appointment. Maybe they have a question about something you offer. So just make sure that you are ready to assist and you're not rushing the process. And then after they get home, yeah, nope, visit's still not over, even though you think it is, it's not. You can enhance the experience after your visit the salon, extending and elevating the customer service. So this is usually like 1 or 3 days after the service. You can send a thank you text or email, and these can be automated. So that's great. You don't have to do it yourself. You can have them automated. You can make a follow-up phone call. You can send a survey. And my favorite thing is you can ask for a review. Reviews are great and they're very powerful in your business. They can be used as a key performance indicator or KPI, showing you what your customer service is like, what they're saying about your business, what's the overall perception of your business. You can see how many stars you're getting. You can use that. You're still working with them. It can also be used as advertising. I actually cut my advertising budget when we got more reviews. Our business has over 500 reviews. Yes, we do have a service that pushes that out for us and in many different ways. So there is services out there that will do it for you. So if you don't feel comfortable doing it yourself or asking yourself, you can have a service do it for you. And it's so easy and it's really cost efficient compared to what we get. Because what happens are so many people are looking at reviews these days that it actually draws in not only new clients, it actually draws in new employees for us as well, because they're overlooking saying, wow, this must be a really great place to go. Whether they're a client or an employee, they're just seeing that overall experience and they're seeing like there's just positive, positive, positive. So really don't underestimate the power of the review. And it's so important these days to get them. And it's also going to keep the algorithm going for your Google, like your website, and put you at the top of the list. And those are going to be organic. So you just want to make sure that you really think about your reviews and how much they can help your business. So some fun facts. Businesses with excellent customer service can increase sales revenue by 2 to 7% and profitability by 1 to 2%. Studies show that businesses with higher reviews will generally gain 5 to 9% increase of revenue. That can be huge for your business. And again, I talked about this before. It is most cost effective and profitable to retain a recurring client than to recruit new ones. I'm going to give you some of my customer service tips. You want to have meetings with your staff to make sure everyone has the same information and messages are going about changes, promotions, and procedures. Nothing is worse than you get different messages from different people in one company. If you've never experienced this before, it can actually be very frustrating. Maybe one person tells you that there is a sale. Somebody says that there's not a sale. Somebody tells you that there is an appointment available. Someone says there's not an appointment available. And it really causes confusion for your clients. So as much as you can eliminate that, do that. And that makes sure that everybody, whether they're a bather, a groomer, receptionist, maybe your kennel techs, depending on if you have that, if you have daycare and boarding. This way, if anyone is talking to anybody, everyone has the same message and the same information. You want to definitely have your written scripts available to answer common questions. I can't tell you how important that is. And have a list of restricted words they can say to a client. So there are like no words that you should not say to clients. Of course, I'm not talking about only like profanity or swearing, anything like that. There's also words out there that maybe you don't want to say. One is like, no problem. That's, I know, a negative. Or ain't, that's one. Or if they're not using words complete and they're, doing the, where they're kind of smashing words together and they're not really words, you really want to make sure your communications with your clients and is really noted of what you should be saying, how you should be saying, and what you should be saying to your clients. It's really important when you're doing this, you want to role play with your staff members to get them to get them some practice. This way, again, you want to make them more confident, make them more comfortable, and that's actually going to be present in the delivery. If you do have a client with a complaint, concern, or recommendation, listen to them thoroughly and resolve their issue as promptly as possible. I know a lot of times we get some unreasonable complaints or some concerns, and maybe we just want to blow it off. Even if it's something that you have no intention of rectifying, listen to what they have to say and thank them for that. So even if they give you a negative review, you want to thank them for that because they did take the time. Or it might be something that you didn't think about before, or maybe it's going on and you didn't realize it. So listen to them. And I mean, you're going to have people, I know that this day and age, we see a lot of people that are habitual complainers, but if there's really people out there that have genuine complaints, really take that to heart and listen to them and do what you can to rectify the situation and provide that client with some resolve. This way they feel better, even if they may have had something negative, you can turn that into a positive experience just that way. And they may be back just because you handled it so well. So I wanted to thank everybody for attending today. If you want to receive a copy of today's presentation, feel free to email me at theenrichmentstylist@gmail.com. And even if you think of anything that comes after this presentation, that maybe you have a question or you want to talk more about ideal clients, feel free to connect with me and reach out to me. I also have a Facebook page called the Enrichment Stylist. You can reach me on that as well. I welcome anybody, any questions. I know that at one time I had trouble with this, and I'm happy to share anything I can with anybody I can to make your businesses grow and prosper. So just know that please reach out. I'm always here. Sometimes you do, I'm going to set an expectation. If you're going to email, give me a day or two to get back to you because sometimes I'm not always on my email.